Welcome to another episode of Modern Infrastructure Wednesday. I'm your host, Aaron Cow. Today, we're going to use Pulumi to create a Kafka cluster in Confluent Cloud. Apache Kafka is an event store and stream processing platform. It's actually used by more than 30% of Fortune 500s today. Kafka was created to allow scalable, high-throughput applications to store, analyze, and reprocess streaming data. However, managing Kafka clusters can require some operational expertise, and that's sort of where Confluent Cloud comes in. They provide managed Kafka clusters along with some major value adds like elasticity, security, stream governance, and improved monitoring. Clusters in Confluent Cloud can be provisioned in AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. And Confluent Cloud also offers cluster linking capabilities to on-prem producers and consumers for hybrid cloud scenarios. So let's jump right into creating this Kafka cluster. Okay, let's create a new folder here. Okay, we'll do a Pulumi new TypeScript to create a empty project. Call it Confluent Demo. Okay, dev. It's going to go off and install everything. Okay, that's done. Okay, we're good there. Okay, we're good there. So let's look at the code real quick. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste in some code and then walk everyone through it. Okay, so our example architecture here will have the following components. A Kafka cluster for our messages, an admin service account, which we'll use to create objects within the cluster, a Kafka topic for our cluster, which will hold our sample messages, a producer service account, which will use to write messages to the topic, and a consumer service account, which will use to read messages from the topic. So if we look at this code, it's pretty simple. So first you need a Confluent environment where it's a container for everything. Then we deploy a standard Kafka cluster with multi-zone availability. We're deploying it into US West 2 here. Then we create a admin level service account to create the Kafka topic and producer and consumer accounts. So this admin level app manager account is similar to the DBA account in relational databases or root accounts in Linux. Then here we create a Kafka cluster using the cluster admin service account credentials that were created above. Okay, then we'll create a consumer service account and give account permissions to write to that topic. Or sorry, I mean a producer service account. And then we'll create a consumer account, which will read messages from the Kafka topic. And then finally, we're going to export out a bunch of these variables like topic names, environment ID, which will actually reference with some of the Confluent CLI commands that we're going to use. All right, with all that, we're going to hit save, and then we're going to run a Pulumi Up and see what happens here. Okay, that looks good. Hit yes, and it's going to go off and create that, and we'll be right back. Okay, Pulumi Up is done running. Now we're going to simulate a producer and consumer. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Confluent CLI to send messages to and read messages from the topic that was created. And then what we'll do is we'll use the values of the Pulumi stack outputs to formulate the command. But first things first, we need to log into Confluent. I had a bunch of issues trying to debug this, but you got to log in first. Actually, we need to actually have Confluent installed, the CLI install first, so let's do that. Let's do that. And now let's run Confluent login. Okay. It's gonna open up a web page to do the authentication. So once that's done, we're good there. Okay. So with that, we can begin. To simulate a message producer, we're going to issue this following command. So you can see here that some of the parameters are set using the Pulumi stack outputs. All right, so the Kafka producer started, and then we're going to enter in a few sample records. So we're going to copy that, and then we're going to Control C to get out of it. Now we're going to simulate a consumer to read the records that we just wrote into the Kafka stream. So we're going to enter this command. So while that's running, a quick thing I didn't point out at the beginning, which is before you can use the Pulumi Confluent Cloud provider, you're going to have to obviously sign up for a free trial on Confluent Cloud, get an account, and then create an API key and set its values as environment variables. So just want to quickly call that out since I didn't show that. Okay, this is done. So that works. So the consumer was able to retrieve the same messages that the producer was able to send in. This is how you deploy a Kafka cluster in Confluent Cloud using Pulumi. This video is actually based on a blog post by Josh Kodruff, and the link is below in the posts. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe below. That is it for today's Modern Infrastructure Wednesday. See everyone next time.